I recently completed my 3 short films targeting specific stories on the farm crisis facing us today, and followed that up with a concise video on where we must start to change that model. No sooner had I finished these films and the University of Illinois publishes its Farm Doc, recommending farmers do exactly the opposite of what is needed. This is the state which has taken a lead in addressing the nutrient runoff from our fields that has polluted the Mississippi River Valley for decades. Let me remind you that in 2015, the Illinois Department of Agriculture and Illinois Environmental Protection Agency established a nutrient loss reduction strategy for reducing total phosphorus and total nitrogen loads by 45%, with the interim reduction goals of 15% nitrogen and 25% total phosphorus by 2025. Last September 2021, the Illinois Department of Agriculture published its progress 5 years into the strategy. Nitrogen and phosphorus runoff has not been reduced, but has increased. Drastic measures will be needed to meet the 2025 goals, not to mention the 2035 limits. And recently, the Champaign County Soil and Water Conservation District established the STAR initiative as a means to contribute to the important goals outlined in the state's nutrient loss reduction strategy. The 3 most important practices are: no nitrogen fertilizer applied in the fall, plant a winter cover crop, and use minimum tillage. So what does Farm Doc advise farmers on November 30th, 2021? Do just the opposite. They list 5 nitrogen fertilizer strategies for 2022. Not one of them supports the farming practices advocated by the STAR program in meeting Illinois' nutrient loss reduction strategy. The first strategy listed, plant more soybeans. A switch to soybeans reduces the impacts of higher nitrogen fertilizer prices, since nitrogen is used at much higher levels on corn than soybeans. However, they backtrack on this strategy that with the uncertainty over 2022 market conditions, some profitability projections for corn are currently above those for soybeans, even with the higher fertilizer prices. Strategies 2, 3, and 4 all advise continuing to apply the maximum of nitrogen fertilizer, with the strategy number 2 being the practice most devastating for nutrient runoff.
Strategy number 2, fall's application. Much of Illinois' fall nitrogen applications have been delayed because of wet weather. However, a window for fall applications may be opening. Some farmers may have priced nitrogen below $1,000 per ton and need to apply it in the fall for this price to be effective. If this is the case, all efforts should be made to apply this nitrogen.
It's unbelievable that any advice from the University of Illinois could so blatantly ignore the present situation facing our state's goals for nutrient loss reduction. Is the Department of Agricultural, Consumer, and Environmental Sciences not aware of what is going on in our state? What's motivating them? Who benefits the most from pushing nitrogen applications in the fall? Instead of pushing the same corn-soybean farming rotation, why doesn't our university demonstrate regenerative farming practices? As we've heard, there's plenty of uncertainty and change. Why wouldn't they develop best practices around the new machinery available, such as strip tools that work in all soil conditions, guided hitches that allow for pass-to-pass accuracy, cover crop seeders that quickly establish a hardy germination, and fertilizer side dressing and banding machines that provide only the nutrients needed by the plant at that moment? These machines are available here in Illinois, but their use still needs to be perfected for the average farmers. Aren't we from Illinois, the land of Lincoln, the president that launched both the land-grant universities and the United States Department of Agriculture? Lincoln described the USDA as the people's department on his cabinet. Is it serving the people? We have the richest farmland in the world. Shouldn't we be the ones setting the standards for regenerative farming? Can't we afford it the most? Why can't we fill the popular movement and movie Kiss the Ground with our own stories? Let's change that model.
I've been living in this town for so long, I know the sound of all the shadows.